Hello and welcome back to Paul's Beer Reviews. I hope you're all doing well. I've got a stout for you to end my weekend. It's Sunday night. I've had a long weekend. Been down to the coast this weekend. Had a cracking time with some friends. I'm absolutely knackered. Done a lot of travelling this weekend and I really fancied a stout just to end the weekend. So I'm going back to Mad Squirrel and I've got a can of one of their newer brews. It's from their Della range and this is their Della Nut, which is a hazelnut milk stout coming in at 4.5% ABV. There's the artwork on the can, the usual Squirrel logo, slightly sort of nutty caramelly look to this one. So yeah, 4.5% stout. It says, was it the latest addition to our Della theme? The Della Nut is a hazelnut milk stout, 4.5%, smooth and creamy from added lactose sugar. Expect sweet chocolate and caramel flavours, finished off with a decadent nutty edge. Squirrel's nuts, the jokes write themselves. And this one contains water, malted barley, oats, lactose, cocoa, hops and yeast. It's got Hercules and Goldings hops in it. Yeah, sounds pleasant enough. Let's get this stout out of the can. Into my glass. See if it's any good. So yeah, like I said, just winding down now. Thinking about going up to bed in a bit. But I thought I'd have a nice stout to end my weekend. Before I get into bed, get sleep, and then tomorrow morning, back in work mode. There we go. Oh, blimey. Just had the tiniest taste off of that rim there. And I could get nuts. So there is this hazelnut milk stout from Mad Squirrel. Pretty dark, but there is a bit of red bleeding through the bottom of the glass there. But it's a very dark brown looking brew. Very small, creamy looking head on it, half a finger if that. But she looks nice. And I'm going to get my nose in and get an aroma. Yeah, it's plain chocolate, dark chocolate aroma. Milky coffee. Smells really nice. It smells like Nutella. It's like Nutella with a bit of coffee in it, you know. It smells really, really nice. It's a lovely aroma. Can't get enough of that. Wow. I'll be honest, up until now, I think Mad Squirrel's dark beers haven't been quite as good as their lighter beers. I'm not sure dark beers are their speciality, but this has got to be probably the most inviting aroma I've had on a Mad Squirrel dark beer up until now. So let's see if the flavour's any good. Cheers. Yeah, that's nice. That's very tasty. That's good. Very gentle carbonation to this one. A lot of stouts almost have zero carbonation, but this one has a very subtle, gentle carbonation. When you first sip it, when it first hits your tongue, you kind of think it's quite thin, quite a light stout. But it kind of seems, it sort of changes at the same time. Despite it feeling quite thin and quite light, really coats your palate, and you're left with a creamy, nutty sort of mouthfeel texture. You know, it's strange. It kind of develops in your mouth, this one. There's that gentle carbonation, and as soon as that carbonation dies down again, you're getting milky coffee, dark chocolate, and then like roasted nuts, roasted malts, nuts, and you're left with this. The best way of describing it is it's like Nutella, like a really thin Nutella, hazelnuts and chocolate. I thought for a second there I was maybe getting a dark fruit influence as well, but I'm not. This is just chocolate. That's chocolate, milky coffee, and hazelnuts. And you're left with a very subtle, nutty bitterness at the back end. This is really nice, actually. I think this is the best dark beer I've had from Mad Squirrel so far. I've had their original Della Creme, which was like their original dark stout. I thought was so enjoyable, but not the sort of thing I'm going to rush out and buy again. I had their Imperial Pecan Stout as well, which was again very nice, but again not a beer I'm going to rush out and buy again. This so far I think is the best dark beer they've done. It's very nice. It does exactly what it says on the tin, and it really does give off that chocolatey hazelnut flavour with that milky coffee influence in there as well. I really like the finish on it. It takes a while for this one to develop. When you first hit your tongue, there's not a lot going on. You kind of your palate sort of adjusts to the flavour. Not the flavour. What am I going on about? Your palate takes a few seconds to adjust to the texture, the body of the beer, and then you get that slight carbonation rush. And then when it dies down, that's when the flavours start kicking off. And as I say, you get that sort of milky coffee, you get that chocolate, and then you're left with a combination of those things, and you end up with this kind of very thin, almost sort of nutty chocolate, like a Nutella type flavour. It's really nice. Just as you're kind of adapting to the kind of the lactose, the cream, the milkiness to it, and that's when the coffee comes in. Milky coffee, roasted malts, chocolate. And at the end, it's nutty. That's when the hazelnut comes in, and that's where I'm getting this Nutella flavour in my brain. That's a really nice stout. That's really nice. I'm going to enjoy the rest of that. Yeah, 4.5%, 20 IBUs, 440ml can. There's over Mad Squirrel. Yeah, Della Nut Hazelnut Milk Stout. That's one of the most pleasant, enjoyable stouts I've had in a little while. Really good that from Mad Squirrel again. This isn't a fluke, ladies and gentlemen. I know I keep blowing their trumpet, and I'm going to, because I've got an offer with them at the moment, which you should all be taking advantage of, and I hope you are. I know some of you have, so thank you for that. If you go to madsquirrelbrew.co.uk right now, if you spend 30 quid or more on their online store and put in the discount code Paul's Beer Reviews, they will take 10% off of your order, which is good, because I mean, if you buy 6 beers or more on the site anyway, they give you 5% off. If you buy 12 or more, they give you 10% off. So let's say, for example, you go on their website and you buy yourself 12 beers, you're going to get 10% off automatically from Mad Squirrel for buying 12 or more beers. Then if you put in the discount code Paul's Beer Reviews, they'll give you another 10% off. So you could technically be getting 20% off of your order. And I've said it before, Mad Squirrel are knocking out some absolutely incredible beers. They've got to be one of the most underrated breweries in the country right now. These guys are going to be huge because their beers are consistently brilliant. Ask Beer Wonder, Scott at Beer Wonder, he did a review of Mad Squirrel's lager the other day, and I think he mentioned the offer I've got going with them at the moment, and he'll tell you they're knocking out some fantastic beers. So if you don't believe me, listen to him. So again, madsquirrelbrew.co.uk, go on their website, spend 30 quid or more in beers, put in the discount code Paul's Beer Reviews at the checkout, and get yourself 10% off of your order. Well worth it, because they're doing some stunning beers at the moment. This one, Nut Hazelnut Milk Stout is available on the website. It's a lovely stout as well. Really enjoyed that. I'm going to give that an 8.5 out of 10. Hope you've enjoyed the video, guys. I hope you're looking after yourselves and each other. Until my next one, you take care.